as far as narcissism goes and narcissists and everything, I could make a million videos about it. But there's one thing in particular that I want to say, and that is, it's gonna sound mean, but people like us who have the anxiety, who have the depression, who have big hearts, we are most prone to getting taken advantage of in whatever way, shape, or form. Okay, so with that being said now, chances are our energy that we have is going to attract the narcissist. That's like a whole type of, I don't know what to call it, like a category of people that are out there that exist, who seems like they have no heart, they have no soul, or it's a very cold heart, very dark soul, and they're going to take advantage. Okay, you know the whole thing, right? So the point that I just want to make really quick about this is when you continuously end up falling for someone like that, chances are they're going to say the same thing as the last person. And it might be, you need to grow up. You need to take responsibility for your own actions. This is your fault. You did this. Just, they blame shift and they put it all on you, right? They say how effed up you are, maybe. Maybe they say you're psycho, you're psychotic. Maybe they even bring your mental illness into the equation, which I love that, because I attack the out of them when they try to come for me about my mental illness. I don't put up with that with anyone. But what I'm saying is, for the longest time, it was person after person. It was guy after guy after guy telling me the same exact things, to the point where I'm like, okay, and then I'd call them the last person's name. I'd start all kind of stuff that I shouldn't have. But anyway, that's besides the point. But when people make you feel like you're worthless, basically, like, okay, a few examples that guy after guy after guy have told me is, you're a hoe. You make me feel like I'm worthless. You have done nothing but cause me to suffer. When literally I've done the opposite for them, and I've done everything and given them my all. Okay? I used to think, oh my god, if everybody's saying that about me one after another, clearly they're right and something is wrong with me, because each person is saying the exact same thing. No. Reality check right here. Ready for it? Are you ready? It's a whole category of people out there who are just like that. They're narcissists. They exist. They blame shift. They put everything on you. They're the ones that need to do the maturing. They're the ones that need to grow up. But guess what? They're going to tell you that you're the one that needs to grow up, and you're the one that needs to do the maturing and everything. No. No. So, for anyone who hears the same thing one after another, like, and then you're like, wow, so it really must be me. If they're saying the same exact thing, like word for word, literally quoting the last person, clearly it must be me. No. It's just this category of people who are drawn to you and your energy because you're so loving, you're so genuine, you have a big heart, a giant heart, you're willing to do anything and everything for them, whether they ask or not. You're like, that's just who you are, probably. Like, I swear it's a thing with anxiety and depression, because you know what it's like to have no one. You know what it's like when all you want is someone to be there for you and be willing to do anything and everything for you. At least that's what I'm trying to come up with. Like, I'm trying to figure out, why is it that I do this with every single person? Even if I just met them, I'm ready to give my all. I think that's why, because it's what I would expect and what I would want for myself. So, yeah, like, I could hand them the world, the whole entire whatever, and I would still be told it's my fault that it didn't work. It's all me. It's all my fault. I'm so careless. I'm so this. I'm so that. When all reality is, it's them. And they're running away from their issues, and they're trying to find someone who is weaker than they are to put it all on. And then they feel better about themselves because they pushed it onto someone else. And I'm not saying that you're weaker. I'm not. That's how they see it. Because narcissists, if they see mental illness, they literally feed off of it. They literally feed off of it. And it is so sad. But you know what? That's what happens. And like I said, I was thinking, okay, if it's one person after another telling me this, clearly somebody's right about something here. Because it's word for word. Nope. They're just in the same category. They're all narcissists. They're using you. They're taking advantage of you. You know, like, it's not you. I don't care if they say word for word, you're worthless. You don't care about anything but yourself. Like, I laugh because I always, if I'm in a relationship, I put that person first above anything and everything, which is so... That's a very big regret of mine, but I always put the person first above me, above myself, above my goals, above... I've even put them above family before. Like, I am so ashamed of myself for doing that, to be perfectly honest. And do you know where I was on their list of priorities? Not even second or third. I was completely last. At the bottom. They would cancel plans on me. They would do just like, we're not even going to get into that. It's just the point that I gave my all. I would give them the world if I could. And I always came out to be the bad guy. And you know what they would tell me? They would say, I'm tired and sick and tired of you making me out to be the worst guy on the planet. I didn't do that. I literally didn't. Like, you did that to yourself. Like, I don't know if it's their way of feeling regret, but they put it on me. So that it's me making them out to be this bad guy. Like, no. It's just the facts of what you did. It's your actions that you chose to make. I didn't do anything. I had no part of that. That was all you. So, you're going to get to this point eventually where you're realizing the same thing that I'm telling you right now, I promise. And it is such a good... It's like peaceful to know that you're able to come to peace with it. It's a peaceful feeling. Because I used to think all the time, like, wow, if seriously everyone is saying this to me who I try to date, who I try to talk to, then yeah, clearly I must be pretty effed up. You know? But I'll admit it, I'm weird. I'm so weird. I have so many issues, a lot of them being the mental illness, but you know what? It's me. It's who I am. It's what makes me me. And if they can't accept it, bye. I'm finally okay with it. You know? Yeah, it sucks. But it is what it is. Life goes on, moves on, you know? And then, yeah, if there is a next one, they might be the same way. And it's because I'm realizing I am attracting this type of person. And they can put on a really good front at first because that's what they all do. So then I put those walls back up, and then the next person tries to talk to me and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Like, here's what happens, here's how it goes. Everyone puts on a fake front for me in the beginning, and you know, they'll say, well, that's not fair for you to put that on me because that's the guys in your past, it's not me. And then I fall for that, which you never know which way it can go. That's why it's like I try not to fall too fast, but like I do, because to me it's like you're either in it or you're not. You're all in or you're all out. That's how I am. It just is anymore because I'm getting older and like I do have goals. I do. And like it's very hard to move on after being put through those things. But again, that's another video. I just need you to know, as far as this goes, where you feel like, okay, if that many people are telling me the same thing word for word, then it must be true about me. Stop thinking that. Cut that off right there. That is not at all true. Get that out of your mind right now, because it's not true. It's them. They're deflecting. They are blame shifting. They're doing all of that. They're trying to make you feel like, I still don't know if I'm allowed to swear. They're trying to make you feel like something bad because in all reality, in all seriousness, that's how they feel about themselves. And they can't handle that. They can't take that. So they have to find someone else to put that on. That's how it is. That's completely how it is. And it has nothing to do with you. You just keep having that good heart that you know you have. You keep doing whatever it is that you do in your relationships, whether it's giving them your all, whatever. Don't change yourself. Don't change who you are. Don't change what you do. Don't change your actions unless you need to improve on whatever it is that you want to improve on. Then that's totally okay. I am all for it, you know, but don't change a thing about yourself that they try to make you out to be this bad person. It's them. It's not you. I promise you. I promise you. It's just that when we have this going on, and again, I should have said in the beginning, if you're the support system watching this, and you happen to know like your kid or whoever's going through something like this where it's like one person after the next is telling them how crazy they are, how psycho they are, whatever, please encourage them to watch this, because I'm telling you for a fact, they are just taking it out on you. You're not worthless. You are a human being. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. Maybe you weren't meant to be with that person. Clearly you weren't if they're saying those things to you. And it's taken me almost a decade for one person to realize those words don't mean anything. But then, like, at the same time, I took into consideration, okay, but they put up with me and my mental illness. That's just you and I giving them excuses to treat us that way, to talk to us that way, to talk down to us, to tell us that we're crazy, to tell us that we're liars, and just like, they go, like, literally, I don't know where they come up with half this stuff. But what's crazy is when the next person says the same exact thing. That's when you're like, okay, so they're right about me. They were right. No, they weren't. I promise you they weren't. Again, there's this whole group of people. They're narcissists, okay? And again, they feed off of the mental illness that we have. They literally feed off of it. Don't let them. Don't let them take that power, and do not let them make you feel that way. Like, don't let them make you feel bad about yourself. If anything, you should feel sorry for them, because you, I guarantee it, you were down for them. You would have done anything and everything for them that you possibly could. You would have handed them the world if you could have. I know it. It's not you. And it's funny because narcissists always think that it's our loss, when in all reality it's theirs. And they'll realize it eventually. They will. They might move on, and it might hurt to see them move on, but you know what? That replacement, I always call it replacement and feel horrible about myself when I see it, you know, it sucks. It sucks real bad, not gonna lie. But that replacement, they can never replace you, and they're not gonna put up with it either. And if they do, you know what? They're gonna be so miserable with this person. And like, okay, you might be like, what if they end up getting married and like they have this happy life? No, they're not. They might on social media, but you've been with this person for how long? You know how they are. You know how they talk to you. You know how they treated you. Don't get it twisted even for a second. They are not going to change for a person. They're not. Literally all they care about is themselves. They're narcissists. I promise you. Look into it. Look it up. Like, it'll make you feel less isolated about it, because I'm running out of breath here. There's so much to say about it. I was trying to just make a quick little video, and we're already going on like 14 minutes, I think. Well, but I just want you to know and be aware that even if it's one person after the next telling you the exact same thing, don't listen to it. Let it go in one ear and out the other, because like I said, it is this group of people that they like, I don't know how they do it, but they find your energy. They find it. They're attracted to that, and they feed off of it and feed off of it. And you know what happens? They take all that power from you, and what do? You're left feeling drained because they've taken everything out of you that they possibly could have. So as hard as it is, you have to stop that cycle of allowing the narcissists, it's very hard to say plural, you have to stop letting them in. And I know it's very hard to tell because they put on a very good front at first. Believe me, I know this, but don't close yourself off to relationships or love or whatever it is that you're looking for just because you've had nothing but narcissists in your life. I said it that time. Don't cut it off. Like, don't put your walls back up the whole way. You know, be careful about it, but don't put your walls all the way back up, because there are good people out there, surprisingly and shockingly. There are good people out there. It's just very rare and very hard to find, but they exist. And when you find that person, you don't want them to have to climb the whole way up that wall just to get to the other side. You don't want them to have to actually take that wall down completely. Some are willing, though. They do exist. They are out there, and they'd be willing to wait around, to wait for you, to, you know, but it's just not fair. That's where it gets hard, because it's not fair to bring your past into your future relationship, but like, you kind of have to. You kind of have to be on alert. Like, you have to have in the back of your mind, okay, but the last person put on a really good front, so, you know, all it really means is you just need to go slower about things. Like me, I rushed into things and I shouldn't have. Probably will do it again. But that's how I am. That's just, it's how I am, because that's what I want. I want someone to be sure about me. I want someone to know that I'm the one and only person they want. That's what I want. Because, you know, that's what I'm willing to give to that person. And I would never do anything to jeopardize it and everything else, you know? So I sound like a hypocrite about taking it slow, but I'm working on it. I truly am. And I'm trying to, like, keep the wall mildly there, I guess, but not the whole way up, where if somebody happened to come along and they're actually a good person, where they have to take forever to knock that wall back down again. Because that's just not fair to them if they actually are a good person, you know? But you just, truth be told, you don't know until you find out. So you just have to try to be careful about your attachment, the pace at which you become attached. This is like at me right now, but I feel like a lot of people are like that. They just don't want to admit it a lot of the time, but it is what it is, you know? There's nothing wrong with having a big heart. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just you have to be careful with your heart, because especially those of us with the anxiety, the depression, whatever, we have fragile hearts usually. I'm not calling us fragile, but you know, like, our hearts can only take so much, because we're already dealing with the anxiety, we're already dealing with the depression, we're already dealing with the bipolar. I could sit here and list all the mental illnesses, whatever you have, but when you already have that as the base, you don't want extra added stress. A relationship is supposed to relieve that stress, take it away, make you feel happy, give you the good types of hormones in your brain, not the bad ones. You know, you don't want to have anxiety, depression, this, that, and then have relationship problems, this, and it keeps adding up. You don't want that. So even if you may have became close with someone, it's not worth it if they're talking down to you, if they're making you feel like, I'm just gonna do that every time I'm gonna swear, if they're making you feel like, if they're talking to you like you're a you know what I mean though? Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Nobody's worth it. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. No one. Not a single soul walking this earth is worth it. I promise. They're not worth it. Why am I making this such a big deal and such a long video? Because, again, suicidal thoughts can stem from this too, and it's important to know that. It's important to recognize that, because when one person after another is telling you, you're not worth it, you're not this, you're not that, you're whatever, like I said, it's because you're attracting the same type of people. It has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with them. Everything they're saying to you about you being worthless, about you not caring about anyone but yourself, they're deflecting. That's them, not you. And you know that you have a big heart. You know yourself. So, I hope you take this into consideration with your relationships, your future relationships, even your past relationships, the ones who just completely drained you and talked down to you and made you feel worthless. I promise you, right now I'm telling you this. I know I might just be like nobody to you, but I promise you, you are worth so much, and then some, okay? And you need to start telling yourself these affirmations, because I could say it to you all day, anyone could say it to you all day, but until you believe it in here, it's not going to mean a thing. That's where it has to come from, inside your mind, You have to say, I'm worth it. I'm worth something. I am not worthless. I do care about others. I do care about this. I do care about that. You have to remind yourself on the daily. Passionate about these subjects. Can you tell? I'm going to shut up now about this. But just please keep in mind that these people are deflecting, and it is seriously just the same group of people who are, they're literally attracted to your energy that you're giving off. That's what it is. So, no, it's not you. I don't care if they say word for word the same thing one after another. It's them. It's not you. Okay? So, like, promise me, like, pinky promise here. Can I get my pinky up in there? Pinky promise that you're going to give yourself these daily affirmations, whether it's from the past, present, or future, that you will never let someone talk down to you, and you will never let someone make you feel worthless. Ever. You have no idea what potential you have. I'm gonna just shut up because I could keep going. Seriously. Okay? Don't listen to them. Do not. Do not listen to them. So what are you going to tell yourself every day? Huh? I feel like I'm on Blue's Clues or something. Like waiting for a response back here. You're going to give yourself daily affirmations that you are worth something. You are worth it. You're worth everything and more, okay? Here's the pinky again. Pinky promise one more time. Got it? It's like freaking Blue's Clues, I swear. I'm being dead... I almost swore. I'm being dead serious though. Like, you have to give yourself these daily affirmations. Promise me that you will, and promise me that you will stop taking what these idiots are saying to heart, because they're deflecting, okay?